Hello, it's me again. It's me again. Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to talk about college again because why not? In fact, I might also talk about it a bit more in the future, but that's enough said. So, of course, for me, I'm not sure if my experience with college was really similar or different from you guys, but I know it was probably the same as a lot of other people, though. Now, as you might have heard if you've kept up with my videos, I went to college for, welding. And the reason why I did it, I mean, I really didn't want to do it because even at the time, I was hearing a lot of the negative things about college at the time and how it was kind of a waste of money and everything. And, you could say I could see why. I mean, even a lot of financial professionals have stated that it is like seriously not worth the money, but enough about that, of course. I mean, that is one thing, no, it really is. For me personally, the money that me and my father spent on my college, seriously, it was not worth it. It was not worth it at all. Now, right off the bat, I will also state that that thing when they told you back in high school that what you're paying for when you go to college is, you know, the education to get a job, and that once you get out of college, you'll just get a job right off the bat. Well, I will, of course, tell you that that is completely false. That is completely false. I mean, yeah, I mean, you might get a job eventually. I mean, if you try hard enough sometimes, but there have been people that have been to college, they'll try to get a job and then they never get a job in it at all. And then they either go to college for something else or they just don't go again entirely because they've just been discouraged. And it happens quite a bit. But for me personally, I was just going to college. The only reason why I let my dad kind of make me go to college was just because I felt that it would at least help, getting an education from college and getting into a field that was in more higher demand, like welding, which I saw wasn't really true. But I'm dead serious. It did not help with jack shit at all. And I ended up just going to a temp service to get a job. No fucking joke. But anyway, yeah, this state was not a good state to get a job in. But enough about that. Uh, yeah, for me personally, as far as the experience at college, it was at least definitely better than like, high school. I mean, it's better than high school. It's just that, when you're going to college, you're not paying to get a job. You're paying for an education, is what you're actually paying for. That's seriously is all that you're paying for. That and the knowledge of how to pass a test. That is what, in a nutshell, what you're paying for when you go to college. Now, to say the least, it is definitely better than high school. I mean, the teachers actually take the subjects more seriously when you go to college. The people that go to college tend to be also more serious about the classes when they're taking them. So, and there's also less bullying. When you go to college, it's your responsibility when you go to college. How well you do in everything. The teachers won't give you too much shit if you are going behind in class, etc. It is your responsibility when you go to college, which is actually a good thing. I actually prefer it that way, to be frank. However, again, it is fucking expensive. Oh my god. I mean, sometimes I would just rather go on the internet to look up information than just take another class at college like that again, let me fucking tell you. But and as far as how I got along with my classmates and everything, I mean, we got along just fine, really. In fact, I was actually kind of surprised when I was actually the best in my welding class, to be frank. But it was because at one point some people were starting to not come into they were starting to not come into class eventually, and so it made it to the point where I got ahead of them in class since they were coming in every day. And so I managed to be, I managed to kind of finish first ahead of everybody else because of that. Not that I really judge, their lifestyle. I'm not that kind of person that just acts like I'm better than somebody else just because I did, I finished first in something. I'm not that kind of a douchebag. I really am not. I fucking hate people like that, by the way. But, I would say overall, with the classmates wasn't necessarily a bad experience. I remember this one time, as far as the negative stuff, like when I was doing my math class, it was a basic math class, because since that was what was required. And so, also, only take the classes that are required. Only take the classes that are required. It's just going to be more of a money pit for you, but, it's your choice. But, I remember this one time, these 2 to 3 guys in the back, row that, of course, weren't taking the math class seriously. And I also remember this one other guy, he wasn't really doing, the math homework or anything in class. I'm thinking that they were probably paying other people that they either knew or were associated with to do their homework and everything. I remember one of the older guys in my class he was making his 18-year-old girlfriend do his homework. And this guy seriously was like age 35 at the time. He was making his 18-year-old girlfriend do his homework because he just didn't want to fucking do it. I mean, isn't that just silly or what? But, there's a lot of that too. There's a lot of, my friends in my class that were having other people, do their math homework and etc. At one point, one of my classmates tried coming up to me to do his homework because he heard that I was good at math. And I told him that I was having enough trouble as is with the work that I was doing, which was true at the time. But either way, I probably wouldn't have done his homework, to be frank. Like, I mean, if you're going to college to get an education, I'm sorry, but if you're cheating on all of your shit and everything, I mean, on top of the fact that going to college is as much of a waste of money as it is, if you go through college and you're cheating or having people do your work for you, I am here to tell you that you are quite literally just wasting your money. You're literally just wasting your money. I'm not judging anybody that does that, but you are seriously just wasting your fucking money if that's what you're doing. Also, I always thought it was funny how they talked about partying when you went to college. And I'm, again, here to tell you, kids, especially, since I know it's the kids that are told this as they grow up before they go to college, that, that the parties at college are so great and everything and blah, blah, blah. And it's basically just an American pie at college. Well, again, it's fucking full of shit. Now, it's not to say that you would probably never party when you go to college, but if you are partying when you go to college and that's all you're doing when you're there, again, you are just wasting your fucking money. Also, you do not have to go to college to party. When I was like 15, 16 years old, I used to sneak out of my parents' house to go to parties at the middle of the night and drink and all that. You do not have to go to college to party. And let me tell you, some of the wickedest parties, or should I say sickest parties that I've ever been to, was when I was 15 to 16 years old. I wasn't even 21 years old. I met some of the shadiest people I'd ever met, some of the druggiest, well, I'm not sure about druggiest people I'd ever met, but they're pretty druggy. Just, it was quite an experience, let me tell you. But yeah, again, you do not have to go to college to party. You don't have to go to college to do this. You don't have to go to college to do that. You don't have to go to college to grow up. That is a very big misinterpretation when it comes to college, especially regular college. Now, if you want to get into something, I would actually recommend that you actually, if there is something specific, kind of like law, if you're trying to get into law, I would actually recommend you go to not regular college. I would recommend you go to a college that's more specific towards law, or a different type of school. That is, of course. But I'm not going to tell you so much about what college you're supposed to go to. But that is one thing that you might want to take it into notes before you go to regular college. But yeah, I mean, as far as like the whole class scheme though, in your class and what you're probably going to experience, kind of like I did. I mean, it's just a bunch of guys, trying to pay for an education, and they're just having some small. They always have, that one smart guy in the class that does everybody's homework because the rest of the people in class don't want to do their effing homework because it's too much work while they're trying to take care of their kids or something else. And then, yeah, college isn't exactly a perfect place either, but it is at least better than high school, let me tell you. And I don't know, this may be more to say, but yeah, maybe I'll just stop it there. I think I've pretty much said enough. That being said, I will end this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye.